get Luke fucked up. You good with that, Luke?
Brought to you by RLD Dynasty, the realest motherfuckers in the game since 2022.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Keith? You got your drink in hand, bro?
True democracy.
Oh, hold on. Let me go crack something.
Oh Jesus, he's got the congressional address going in the background. No. Get the fuck out of here, Keith. All right. Oh, he just helps himself right back to the stage. Come on, Keith.
He's trying to steal our glory. What drink you got in hand, Keith?
Oh, you know what it is.
Bud Light.
BLL.
Let's do it.
Are over.
Now, you're not gonna get me smashed tonight, Lou. I don't get drunk at home. Not that drunk.
Oh man, let's see, man. Because with what I have coming up, man, I got a feeling you're gonna be drinking quite a bit. So, gentlemen, we're gonna start off with some
The greatest economy.
ADP, some players at their average dynasty ADP cost, and we're gonna play a game called Dynasty Beer Goggles, where I'm gonna name a player and some players that are going after them in ADP, and if you choose the player after them in ADP, Luke and myself, I want you to take a drink.
Shit.
You down with that?
Wait. Okay, so are we calling out the ADP blind, and if we go later than they're going, we have to take a drink?
No, not at all, man. I'm gonna name the player. I'm gonna name their ADP, and then players that are going after. And if you like the players after, you're gonna take a sip.
Okay, gotcha.
Make sense?
That makes sense. Okay, that makes more sense than
so.
my thing. Yeah.
So I use, and I recommend this to anybody listening right now. I use Dynasty Data Lab. I use a lot of things, but for today I'm using Dynasty Data Lab.
Yeah, you mentioned them last week. I got to check them out.
Mm-hmm. All right. Right when you hear this first name, you already know my goal is to get you messed up. You ready?
Shit. Okay.
All right. So Dynasty Startup Mock Draft. We have Tank Dell.
Oh, God.
ADP 155. So average draft position 155.
In Superflex startup?
In Superflex startup.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy. That's crazy.
Let me see.
Yeah,
that's a little too soon, right?
That doesn't.
So
that feels like it's a little ignorant of the most current
of the injury.
Yeah.
So that is. Let me see. That's round 13.
He's not even going to play in 2026, Chubb. Probably. He messed his knee up fierce, dog. All right, anyway, 155.
By the way, guys, I posted my drink in the chat. So right now I'm sipping on Still Austin. So this is a whiskey straight from Texas that I'm enjoying today.
That's what I like about Texas. I am drinking, starting with Community Mosaic IPA, which is, I think it's like 8%, 8.6. But it was actually, I didn't finish it last night. So I saran wrapped the top and put it back in the fridge like a true dad. So it only had about 8 ounces of that left. But I picked up a case of El Chingon just for you, just for tonight, Lou. El Chingon.
Oh, I read that, representing my Hispanic heritage, man. I appreciate you.
Well, that was before I found out you're actually technically born in North Korea, but your family is from.
Yeah, it was like that.
That's just I'm just going off your Wikipedia page. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong.
All right, man.
Okay, so Tank Dell 155. That's our baseline here.
Platinum. Hell yeah. Let's go, Keith.
What happened?
Keith upgraded to platinum.
What's that mean? Oh,
it's like a higher alcohol content version of Bud Light.
Right.
So it's still Bud Light though. We need to fix that. So the first player, Jalen Coker, ADP 157.
You're gonna get me fucked up tonight, ain't you? Yeah, it's Coker.
I am. That's the goal.
Yeah, Coker would have been drafted if it was just about his physical measurements. I mean, he verted out of the fucking building at the combine last year, like a 40 and a half, 41 inch vertical, I want to say, maybe higher. Yeah, the physical traits, like he can box dudes out. He can create a lot of kind of like last second late separation. You always hear the term late hands, which I'm kind of sick of anyone even saying the term late hands. But he looks like he has good feel for, like, maybe his route running isn't the most polished. Seems like it's pretty good, but he has a good feel for, like, when to kill it and break back the other way to just make the defensive backs. 42.5 vert for Coker, jumping out of the building. Clutch check on that.
Dude looked like a beast at times, man. He had you saw like some signs. So the thing with him, is he going to be a breakout candidate for the season coming up, or is it possible the Panthers bring in somebody else, right? So that's kind of like the gamble you're playing with Coker.
Sure.
But like what I saw. So
yeah,
I would definitely take a shot on him.
He has not established himself at all, but also I would contend nobody has. I know you're high on Leggett. He could be the guy. He's got the draft pedigree edge, but he was hurt. He didn't really show. He didn't show any more than Coker did. I would say. So if it's just about 2024 rookie year production, then now it's an even race. Obviously Thielen is still around, but he could start to fade into like more of a mentorship, like locker room guy type role. Anyway.
Definitely.
And then,
if he stays with the team, right?
They just extended him. They just restructured.
Oh, they extended him. Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to be around.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, they could absolutely sign somebody in free agency. They could absolutely draft somebody. Although it's not a great receiver class, it looks like, or at least lacks top end guys. Like unless they get Tet, which is a possibility. Anyway, yeah, Coker for me. Dell, we don't know what. The Texans. I mean, they got to go through this draft. By the time the 2026 draft rolls around, there's a real possibility they will not have seen Tank Dell play meaningful football in like 16 months. So
yeah, as a Texans fan, that makes me sad, man. To be honest,
but sure. I mean, he's a Houston
definitely.
legend, and he'll come back for his contract year, hopefully. So we'll see.
Definitely. So again, I said the goal was to get you messed up. So we're gonna start off strong out of the gates, right? So I already know your answer, but I'm just gonna have fun with it. At average draft position of 159, we have Cedric Tillman.
You fucking
drink up.
You piece of shit. Yeah, of course, Tillman. Tillman, Coker, a little bit Coleman. Like it's a physical archetype. It's a guy with his broad-shouldered who can be strong at the catch point. Yeah, Tillman's a potential monster if, by some miracle, the Browns finally have like their set. Oh, Tillman over Dell easily, dude. Dell is small.
Right.
He has torn. Keep in mind, he shattered his his fibula or his ankle in 2023, and now, I mean, dude, you gotta go look at how serious Dell's knee injury was. Like, there's a real chance that like he's not the same player again, or at least certainly until 2026. So yeah, Tillman's way bigger. Yeah, I mean, he could be a beast. So, multiple guys in the FI chat are like, Nico Collins' year 3 blow up is possible if the Browns can figure out something on offense. So yeah,
I agree, man.
Screw you,
James Winston had him looking pretty good
go.
for a short amount of time. Yeah, but hey, we're gonna have fun, man, on a Tuesday.
All right, okay.
I got you, bro.
You're right.
So next player, man. Again, I think I know your answer, but we'll see.
Set me up.
I got at average draft position 162, Clinton, safe hands Johnston, bro.
I'm gonna not drink.
I know boars like that.
I'm gonna not drink on this.
Oh, you're not drinking on this?
Not because I actually like Dell more, because I don't, but because I reject the premise of putting 4 Dell, because you knew Dell's ADP was no good at 155. You knew that shit. You're just sandbagging me. So yeah, I'm not.
Hey, this isn't me. This is Dynasty Data Lab, bro. It's not me.
Fine, but. Yeah, QJ is still a cast off from the previous regime. Yeah, they kind of picked him up and dusted him off in 2024. If they bring in Devontae or they bring in, Colston Loveland or like some big time tight end, Mark Andrews possibly, like, yeah, they're not gonna keep. I don't buy that they're setting a place at the table for QJ necessarily. Like, they used him because they needed somebody and he was around, but he hasn't proven anything.
My little take on it is I believe when he was drafted, they knew he wasn't like 100% ready. I think they drafted him as somebody to kind of develop. And that doesn't mean I expect him to be like, a top end wide receiver in the NFL, but I do think he can still grow. So that's my one thing about him. I mean, he has a good size, good speed, and I think he can still develop. So I'm definitely taking a sip on this one, man.
Sure he can. I'm not saying he can't, but you know, Boards and I were both real squeamish on him, and one of us, I can't remember who it was, but one of us was like, you know what the comp is on QJ, man? The comp on QJ is Cordarrelle Patterson. When he came out, you know, a million years ago now for the Vikes, he was a physical freak, but he couldn't run routes and he couldn't catch the damn football. QJ can kind of run routes, but he just can't catch. Like, so far he has shown us that he cannot catch. He cannot make like difficult body control type catches consistently, and that's not going to work in the NFL these days unless you're like a top 3 deep ball killer, and he's not. So, yeah, no, it's a push, and considering that Dell was a loaded choice as the ADP barometer, tie goes to the runner on that one, my friend.
All right, I'm good with that. So this next player is a little bit older. So let's see how you feel on that.
Okay.
I have at average ADP 164 Stephon Diggs, who's coming off a big injury at what age? 31, if I'm guessing correctly.
Hold on, let me get the mic up. Hold on. Oh. Okay, big swig on that. Yeah, no, I'll take Diggs over Dell.
Me too. I'm with you.
What I just heard and read like this week is that Diggs is going to have a market. Like somebody's going to give him 2 years in free agency. I don't know who, but somebody's gonna. Like, apparently NFL teams don't super care about the fact that he's going to be missing for probably the first half of the season. He's going to land somewhere and potentially be a second half guy. So yeah, I'll take Diggs.
Awesome. Awesome. So we're in agreement on that one.
But I mean, obviously Dell's like 8 years younger, so that's very much a jump ball.
Definitely.
What do you think as a Texans fan? Is Diggs coming home? Because I've heard that it's a real 50-50 at the moment.
You know, as a Texans fan, I would love to have him back, but I'm also hearing. I mean, we'll see what happens during the NFL draft, but I'm also hearing like Emeka Egbuka
You're
talk,
hearing that
and
from yourself, shouting it into the mirror every morning to get yourself pumped up for the day. That's where you're hearing it. You're like, you got it written on on that Keith note in your pocket. Emeka Egbuka, no matter what, I want my picks back.
allow me to wish good things for my team, bro.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right. I mean, that's assuming that Egbuka's for real, which we'll see.
Plus, we still got Menchie on the bench, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we good.
Wait. Hold on. Did you say what did you call him?
I said it wrong. Menchie. How do you say? Menchie, yeah, man.
Ain't letting that one by. No way. You lob one up, I'm gonna swat it down. All right. Maybe you just went to Froyo. You went to Menchie's for some Froyo. You had Menchie on the brain. That's fine.
So we.
Uh-oh, we lost Lou. Or did we lose me? Hello? Oh boy. Lou.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're back.
I'm back, man.
All right, so it sounds like we're in agreement on everyone except for QJ, and even QJ, it's like, yeah, I actually agree. I just need to take a break from pounding all this beer.
From drinking. Next player on the list at an average or ADP is at 106 is Isiah Pacheco.
Oh, wait.
Y'all ready?
So we have a new ADP barometer guy.
Yes.
Okay.
We're switching it up.
Pacheco,
all right.
You
So
son of a bitch. I know how this is going to go now. All right.
this is gonna be hard, man. Because you gotta one thing we're not factoring in is like what your dynasty team looks like, whether you're in rebuild mode, things like that. So there's gonna be a lot of factors when I ask these questions, but as best as we can, right?
Chubb immediately.
So
fuck Pacheco.
So at ADP 112, we have James Conner.
Oh, come on, it's Connor. Come on. Well,
I'm taking a drink. Yeah.
That kind of goes back to what you said about depends on the state of your team. So yeah, obviously got to set the table with. We don't know where Pacheco really stands at this point with the Chiefs. He is going into his contract year. it's a bad time for him to be coming off of a down year where, obviously he cracked his femur, whatever it was. He missed a bunch of time and then got shoved into a platoon with friggin' Kareem Hunt. If you're getting shoved into a platoon with Kareem Hunt, that's concerning. I don't care what the context is. That's not good. And now it's a loaded running back class, and the Chiefs could sign somebody in free agency. So there's a lot of torpedoes in the water right now, but the arithmetic could be very different, obviously, in 2 months, depending on what happens next week with free agency and then with the draft. So right now, Pacheco is like, ooh, that's real dicey. But Connor, Matthew Berry was chatting up Jonathan Gannon at the combine and asked him about Benson, and Gannon really puffed up Benson and said, the Cards have, as long as Benson has the kind of whatever offseason that we know he can have, I look at it as we have potentially 2 starting running backs. So that got a lot of run. I think it's kind of, nonsense. Like, Connor's going to be the guy as long as he's healthy, but I was concerned about Benson, as I kind of verbalized a lot in chat last year, is like, this guy could be a bust. And it looks like they're still in on him. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think Connor getting that, 2-year contract kind of reinforces him for the Arizona Cardinals. You don't think so, huh?
What was the money on it? We need Alex to run over to the Spot Track website and if I can pull the numbers. Is it 2 real years, or is he really just signed through 2025? It's probably that. But
let's see.
Anyway, in a vacuum, Pacheco versus Connor. Here's the thing. Connor is very good. Like, we get so caught up in the age and the carries and all that. Connor is playing like the best football of his career. Pacheco is not. Pacheco is kind of. Alex says that the Connor contract is real. He's the Cardinals will have financial incentive to keep him around in 2026. Okay, so then it's Connor. So I got it. Thanks a lot. Getting drunk now. Thanks, Lou.
We start slurring our words. We apologize in advance, but we're having a good time.
No one send me any trade offers. Okay, guys? Not for the next 45, 60 minutes. It's not cool.
Hey, Alex, you need a quarterback in F1. This is your opportunity, bro. I got you.
Oh, you want to do Drake May for a second? Okay. I guess I could do that. I don't know.
So the next player up at ADP 115, Brian Robinson.
Fuck. El Chingon. Here we go.
El Chingo. You switching drinks? I'm still working on my first glass, man. Let me see.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's Brian Robinson.
I'm taking a sip.
Eckler could be in street clothes next week. Austin Eckler could be out. I'm kind of interested to see what they think of Chris Rodriguez in a situation where the draft hasn't taken place yet, and they have given Austin Eckler his walking papers, because Rodriguez kind of flashed a little bit here in a couple spots last year, but they could easily bring in like a Bashal Tutin or any of the other running backs potentially that are in this huge running back class. So
yeah,
but still, Brian Robinson.
I think if they bring somebody in
like Connor, Brian Robinson is good, and we sometimes forget, like, oh right, he's good, and they like him.
Definitely. Like, if they bring somebody in, I think it's gonna be somebody that kind of complements what Eckler can do. Brian Robinson is I think he's solid at the goal line. Honestly, like, I love what Jaden Daniels did, but I think Brian Robinson should have had a lot more touchdowns. They just chose to give it to Jaden Daniels at the goal line at times. But he's a solid running back, man. If I have him in a flex spot, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So
what?
But yeah, I'm taking.
What? How many touchdowns? Daniels didn't. I know he threw for some touchdowns in the red zone, but I don't think he ran. He ran for like 7 or 8. Ran for 6.
Maybe it was specific. It could have been specific games that I needed Brian Robinson to score more. You know what I'm saying? He's on a few of my teams, so maybe it stands out more to me. That could be a thing.
Isn't that a bitch where the guy sells you on Monday night and you're like, well, I guess the team hates him because he fucked me in fantasy. Therefore, they're done with him. Clearly, only explanation.
This next guy, I believe in the talent.
Final note on Brian Robinson. I think Brian Robinson could be a 3-down back, not unlike Josh Jacobs.
He definitely is.
Yeah,
he is for sure.
Right, like they brought in Eckler, so that kind of make that when a team does that, it kind of telegraphs to us, the first down, second down guy can't catch the ball. No, I don't think that's the case here. Like, Brian Robinson is good. He had like 100 receiving yards against the Seahawks, I think it was last year. Like he's good. So yeah, B-Rob easily.
100%. So this next guy, I'm kind of curious what's going to happen after the draft. But if he's the guy, like I think I'm going to be excited about him. So at average ADP, we have DeAndre Swift or Isiah Pacheco.
What's Swift is going after Pacheco?
He's going after Pacheco, man. I'm going Swift here.
Yeah, I'll go Swift. Like they gave him
Whoa.
424 last offseason, so it's a lot of dead money to walk away from him. Yeah, they might draft a running back. There's an outside chance they draft Genty, but there's also a chance they don't, and that like, obviously Khalil Herbert is gone. The Roshan Johnson experiment hasn't really super worked out. So there's so Pacheco has a range of outcomes that it's pretty wide. Swift does too, but I feel like more of Swift's range is to the positive end of the spectrum. So yeah, I'm drinking again.
Awesome. What does the Bears fan think about that question? Keith?
Bears fans seem to be pretty out on Swift, but
Pacheco. Okay. All right.
I don't know if that's fair. Like Bears fans also know that the guard play in Chicago last year was dog ass, and it's hard to run the ball when the interior of your offensive line is playing so bad. So, Boards. Pacheco runs not good, he says. Frickin' Boards. What does your wife think about this, Lou?
She loves it, man.
Oh,
honestly.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, man. She's on board.
All right.
Let me see.
So far,
we'll see. I might start spending too much time with you, Luke. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened to Colty, and he got in big trouble with his old lady. He had to quit.
Oh man, I don't know about Roshan, man. I think he's done, bro. I don't see anything happening for him.
I mean, I'm not going to say he's done, but yeah, like he has not, for whatever reason, one reason or another, he has not taken the bull by the horns here. And that, and like, he was kind of a developmentally, type of guy coming out like, he didn't play much behind Bijan. Maybe it's because Bijan was just so good. No, I mean, Roshan's just kind of a guy. So, and he's a weirdo. Like he didn't play running back until he was like 20, and yeah, and he's not that.
Oh, I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, he was a high school quarterback. Like he didn't start playing running back full time until he was like a freshman at UT, and like he looks sluggish a lot of the time, and maybe that's why. Maybe because he just had a lot less experience at that position. Whatever the reason, like time marches on. There's too many good running backs out there for them to keep messing around with Roshan.
Yeah, I think if he was going to be something, I think we would have saw something already from him. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
He did seem to push out Khalil Herbert. Like they went with him over Khalil. So I mean, there's that.
I like Khalil Herbert though, man.
He could have a second act. He could also be Pierre Strong, 100%. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, gentlemen, we only made it through two guys, and I already have to pour myself a new glass. Fuck. Y'all ready for it?
You're talking slower. That makes me think like, Lou's taking on water.
I mean, y'all knew I was messed up when I said Mechie, man. So, so y'all ready for the third guy?
Lay it on us, brother.
Let's go. We got Deebo Samuel, ADP 129.
Okay, maybe we're gonna take a little break from drinking nonstop. Okay, hold on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. I only wrote down two other players, so let's do this. We got at average ADP of 132, Cooper Kupp.
Oh shit, that's. Hold on.
I think I'm drinking on this one. I love Deebo, but I love me some Kupp, man. It just depends on where he ends up, but I don't think he's washed.
Okay.
I think Deebo is more washed than Kupp.
That's definitely possible. Deebo really needs to cut the carbs, it would appear. He's got to at least do that for a minute. So Deebo's playing for some money. Let's keep in mind. His contract is up in 2026. There's a bunch of void nonsense on the back end, but he's going to be looking to get paid. So it's contract year mode for Deebo. And the Niners dumped him. And he's got Jaden Daniels now. And the Commanders might not draft a receiver because they have other needs. They got to
Because they picked up Deebo.
they got to beef up the offensive line, for example. They got to the defense could use some help. So it's to me it's not hard to make a case for Deebo. I know it was icky the last like 2+ years in San Fran, but look at what happened to all the Niners last year. Except for freaking Juwan Jennings, like the whole thing just kind of went. The 2024 49ers, they played kind of the whole year like the last 6 weeks of the 2023 Eagles, like just hangover mode the whole season, and everyone's just like, fuck it.
They were struggling.
It was not going to happen this year. We'll run it back next year, boys. Let's Cancun it. So Cup. I mean, what's nice about Deebo right now, because it is March 4th, 2025, is Deebo. We know what team he's going to be on, and Cup we do not. Cup could be a Texan. That sounds nice. There's an outside chance he stays in LA. That could be nice. There's a chance he's like I don't know, a Patriot. Well, even the Patriot wouldn't be so bad. But he could be a Giant or something. Like there's the uncertainty, the fact that he's older. It's not like he was killing it statistically or efficiency wise. And now the Rams are just cutting him because of money. They're also cutting him because his numbers fell off. Let's be real. Like he was struggling to separate. So, that's tough. If we knew what team Cup was going to be on and it wasn't a dumpster fire offense, I'd really have to think about it. I don't have to drink on this one. I'm going Deebo. Jaden Daniels is the truth.
Okay. Hey man, I get that. Commanders offense looked legit last year, so hopefully he has a lot to it, man. I'm a Deebo fan, so I hope he's successful over there, man. In all honesty, I loved watching him play.
And now he's closer to home, so he gets a little bit of that home cooking effect. Watch out.
And that might not be a good thing. So we'll see. Hey, by the way, you gave a shout out to Juwan Jennings. Let's not forget George Kittle, who won some leagues last year, man.
And hey, with Deebo out of the way, if Ayuk somehow winds up traded too, Kittle be like the third tight end off the board next year.
Mm-hmm. This next one, I actually don't know which route you're going, man. So at ADP of 134, Xavier Legette.
You mean Legette? Because that one messed.
Is it Legette?
It's I was calling him Legette because Legette sounds right. Legette sounds better to me, but no, people say it's Legette. So all right.
I'm with you, man. Legette. Let's do that from now on.
Well, hold on. We're in Dynasty Startup, right?
So let's say we're a middle of the pack team. Let's set a tone.
That's that. All right, I'll go Legette. I'll take a drink on that. Legette.
Okay. This one's hard, but I'm gonna go Legette as well, just because of the age. You're kind of resetting the clock on a wide receiver, and I do think there's talent there.
He's only like 4 years younger.
Is he really?
Yeah, sorry. But
oh damn, yeah.
He is younger. He showed. I mean, he blew up the combine. He's huge. He's fast, and he's in an offense that, we think it's on the ascent. We think that the Panthers have figured it out with Bryce Young. So, and there's a lot of. Here's the thing. In Washington, we know that there's not going to be a plethora of pass attempts. There's going to be the run game is going to be a steady theme for that offense. And Terry McLaurin's not going anywhere. Sounds like Zach Ertz is going to be back. There may not be a ton of targets. Could they involve him in the run game and Wildcat stuff? Of course, but Deebo probably doesn't catch more than even if he's fully healthy, plays 15 plus games. Deebo probably doesn't catch more than 65 balls. So in full PPR, you got to take that into account for sure. Legette could have a breakout. I mean, Legette could be the guy. He could take over. I don't think he's going to, but he could.
No, I agree there. It makes me kind of think of what Deebo Samuels can do to Brian Robinson and his production, man. But yeah, I'm going to get there as well with you.
It's close, but yeah, I'll bank on the young guy.
So the next person's kind of shot up in ranking a bit, and we saw him in a few games, and he looked pretty decent. But we're gonna go with ADP 48, Michael Penix. And then, see if we're going to drink or not. We have at ADP 49, Jared Goff.
Keith says he's not a big fan of Deebo in DC. Fair enough. Okay, so Goff is going later than Penix.
Goff going later than Penix.
Goff is 31, I believe, or coming up on it.
I think he's more like, I think he just turned 30, but I would have to look that up. Let me see.
Okay, he's 30.
Yeah.
Penix is 25 though. Like, there's not a massive youth discount.
I'll give my input right away. I think I'd rather go with Jared Goff. I like Michael Penix. I like the team he's on. The weapons he has. But Jared Goff, man, he's not sexy, but he's been putting up some good seasons, man. And I'll just go with that certainty. I think he has a good fit on the Lions. He has great weapons, knows the offense, and I feel good plugging him in every week. So I'm gonna take Jared Goff there.
Oh man, I'm kind of having to eat my words on this one because I've been saying for a couple of years like Goff is a hack. He's not. He's and Alex is in here. He's listening. He knows Goff is garbage. Goff, I don't like Goff like as an actual player just off the street. But he's not off. He has a team. He plays for the Lions. They have maybe the most airtight offensive scheme in the league, so that matters. I did say that when Ben Johnson was out, then I was out on Goff, but I'm not sold on Penix at all. Like, not at all. Like, he could be this year's Anthony Richardson. That's fully in play for me. So yeah, it's Goff, and I got to drink. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for Penix, but we'll see.
I'm hopeful too. I think it'll be interesting. And hopefully, Anthony Richardson is working with
Alex,
Josh Allen's quarterback coach, and with Josh Allen, hopefully he kind of continues to develop and gets better, right? Especially because I love me some Josh Downs in Dynasty, but I think Michael Penix will move the offense. I just don't know if he's ever going to be like a top 10 quarterback. I think he's going to probably be like middle of the pack at best. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
I'm not sure. I'm not getting great vibes just about the overall scheme in Atlanta. Like I think they kind of picked from the discard pile of the McVay, coaching tree potentially with their OC. Yeah, like it didn't click in Atlanta really at all last year, except like Drake London and Bijan Robinson both had strong years, but they were so good. Like why didn't the Falcons win that division? So yeah. So definitely. Penix to me has a fair amount still to prove. I don't like his throwing motion. It's strange to me. I mean, it's kind of petty, but yeah. Anyway, Goff.
So Alex, this one's for you, man. We have JJ McCarthy. Average, so ADP of 51. So Michael Penix or McCarthy?
It would have been Penix so easily up until like very recently. So it sounds
with the Darnold news, right?
Can somebody kick Alex out of here? I don't want him to hear me saying this. Can somebody just kick him out, please? Somebody, Keith, kick Alex out of here, please. Thank you. It's McCarthy. God damn it! Like, yeah,
really,
the word on the street is that it's gonna be McCarthy. He's gonna start. They might, like Alex said, they might sign Daniel Jones, somebody like that. But unless Darnold's market absolutely collapses, which it sounds like is a real outside possibility, by the way. Like Darnold might lose this game of QB musical chairs. It's possible. Because the Raiders could sign Russ, the Steelers could go with Fields, and then all of a sudden, the Giants could go with like Cam Ward and Aaron Rodgers. All of a sudden, holy shit, where's he gonna play? So yeah. So barring Darnold finding nobody else and just washing out back with the Vikings super cheap for like, I don't know, $250 or $240 or something like that, it's gonna be McCarthy. Kevin O'Connell he's proven like he's one of the most quarterback friendly coaches, schemes in the league. The Falcons have not proven that. Penix was a weird prospect who dominated as an old guy in college. In college, let's just say it like it is. He had Rome Odunze, he had fucking McMillan, and he had Polk, and he did it as an old guy. relative to his competition. So he was good, but yeah, for me, it's McCarthy.
I'm fully prepared to eat shit on this and change my mindset once I see JJ McCarthy play. I did get to see Penix in a few games, and not that he was so amazing, but I at least think he could run that offense.
For sure.
I haven't seen JJ play. So for me personally, and again, like this could change in a heartbeat, right? But I think I'm going to go Michael Penix and not Drink at the moment. So I can see a path where JJ McCarthy plays very well for the Vikings, and like you said, a team like friendly offense. But I wasn't that high on him going into last year either.
Fair.
So I'm gonna stick with Michael Penix on this one.
Fair. And then they pulled some. I don't know why, but it did rub me wrong. Like they said he tore his MCL and he's going to be out for the year. That seemed real iffy to me. I'm not sure that he actually got hurt to the point that he needed to miss the entire season on IR. I think they didn't want any sort of quarterback controversy. They wanted to redshirt him. He had some sort of knee injury. They're like, oh, nope, season's over. And the doctor was like, actually, if with rest and rehab, he could be fine in 2 to 4 weeks. No, his season's over, doc. Shut up. Like they just wanted him out of the way. So I didn't care for that. But yeah, no, I think McCarthy's the guy.
That's fair. So this next one, Luke, you're gonna have to take 2 sips depending on your answer. All right, ready?
Shit. All right. Let's go.
Are you on can? Are you on can number 2? I'm still on cup number 2.
I'm on can number 2, but it's taking some hits.
It's dwindling down. Okay, I got you. All right. So at average ADP, or at ADP, I should say, we got Dak Prescott at 54.
Oh, it's still Dak.
I'm gonna say, yep, me too. Easily Dak. I think last year
we conflate playoff success with fantasy success sometimes, and they're not the same. Like Dak, when he's healthy, has pretty consistently been a flat out top 10 quarterback in fantasy. Period. So yeah, Dak.
Exactly. And I say this with I already told you this. I'm pretty new to Dynasty, right? I've been doing this. I started with you guys, Fantasy Index Discord. But in my redraft leagues, I went so hard on Dak Prescott and Kyler Murray because of average draft cost. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. Like if I get these guys at their average ADP, I'm going to kill my leagues. So I ended up with a lot of Dak Prescott last year, and that hurt like a son of a bitch. He did let me down, but even with like him not having a good season, he's not washed, man. I still think he's a solid quarterback. He's going to produce. They're probably going to get somebody strong next to CeeDee Lamb. At least I hope they do. We'll see what Jerry Jones does. So, and he's 31. I think he still has maybe like 4 good years left, at least.
The way he plays, he's got plenty of arm. He's still got average mobility. Yeah, no, like as long as the Cowboys don't piss him off too badly to the point where he's like, all right, screw this, I'm gonna force a trade, then which it's unlikely given Dak Prescott's temperament, but it's not a 0% chance anymore. Like he is a little bit fed up with Jerry Jones and that experience, but barring something like that, like yeah, no, Dak is bulletproof.
Yeah, I still believe in him as a quarterback, man. So let's move on to the next player, and this is a guy I just traded for in a money league.
Yes, you did.
Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Average ADP. Why do I keep saying average? You said you shouldn't drink, guys. ADP of 156.
ATM machine.
And hold on, let me make sure I'm reading this right. Actually, give me 1 second, guys. Let me check something.
Alex says, what did Alex say? What the hell? Come on, computer.
Yeah, same here. One moment.
Alex says, don't think the Cowboys could trade Dak if they wanted to. I mean, they could. They could officially forget about re-signing Micah Parsons, but somebody, if the Cowboys called Tom Brady and said, hey, you want Dak? Raiders would be a cap-eating, fucking contract-eating
in a heartbeat
slut. Yeah, for sure. So they could trade him, but that'd be real dumb. Yeah, for sure.
And guys, I'm gonna make a correction. I said 156, bad handwriting. It's
Whoa.
56, not 156.
Whoa.
Like that didn't sound right when I read it.
Whoa.
So
CMC's Dynasty startup ADP is 56.
that's a good spot if you think about it, man. Middle of the
That's
basically the middle of the 5th round. That's not
That
bad.
is
If you're going late
crazy
now,
high.
that's a good pick.
That is crazy high, Lou. You're out of your mind. Stop it. You crazy, Lou.
I looked at the players
56.
going around him, man. It's not too crazy. I promise.
All right. Give it a shot.
So, ADP of 60, Chase Brown.
Oh boy.
I'll tell you right now. I'll go first on that. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey.
Wow.
Right now, because I'll tell you why. Like, who knows?
I have
He
Chase
might be
Brown.
the lead back,
It's because I have Chase
but
Brown,
I don't-
folks. It's because I have Chase
Oh,
Brown, and he
you have Chase
doesn't.
Brown? Yeah,
That's
screw
why.
your team. But I don't know if he's gonna maintain. Like, I don't know if he's gonna maintain being like a lead back. You know what I'm saying? Versus, I know if Christian McCaffrey is healthy, he could damn near win me a league.
That's true.
I mean, that's my take on it.
That's true. I mean, that's even more so than probably than the Connor versus Pacheco debate of like, well, it depends on where your team is at. No, like CMC, it's clear as day. Like you can get a little bit of a discount on him if you're willing to overlook the fact that like, yeah, he's going to be borderline unstartable certainly by 2027, if not 2026. But there's a chance he can go win your league this year.
Exactly.
If you trade like a late first or something for him, he can do that. That's legit. So there is that. If you're skeptical about what Chase Brown can do in the NFL, and the Bengals are talking about adding, the Bengals are going to probably draft a running back. Like Zach Moss, it sounds like he could be on the Chris Carson track to like early retirement based on his neck thing. So Zach Moss is going to be an IR or maybe just not a Bengal, but they're going to draft a running back. So they're not going to leave Chase Brown alone in that backfield. But he already pushed Zach Moss out of the way anyway. Like people forget, best player plays, and like Duke Tobin, the EVP of player personnel for the Bengals, was just raving about Chase Brown at the combine, like Chase Brown. So yeah, for me it's Brown, but I see the argument, I really do. But for me, it's clearly Chase Brown.
No, it is. I mean, it's definitely something to think about because like Chase Brown looked great last year, man. Like I'm not blind to that.
Sure.
But he's not Christian McCaffrey. I see Boris comment in the chat. He says CMC's value won't go up ever again.
And that's true.
I actually disagree.
No,
I slightly disagree.
Lou.
Well, let me put it this way. So in the offseason, you would agree that running back. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. In the offseason, you would agree that running backs' values kind of go down, right? Especially the older veterans. But let's say you're trying to win the league, and let's say a few weeks into the season, CMC is dropping 18 points, 20 points. I mean, right now he's valued around the 110, 111. And are you telling me in season that his value won't go up slightly higher than that if he's performing?
Okay, I mean, he meant like in 2026, period. But no, you're right. Like if he's doing what you're banking on him doing by, if you're somebody who's going and buying him right now, then yeah, no, it's possible that he runs it back like it's 2023 again. The Niners are praying for that. Certainly with them getting rid of Deebo, like, yeah, now they're not, just chronically overloaded with studs like they were in 2022 and 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it could be a last hurrah type of season for CMC for sure.
Definitely, and I'm not crazy, right? Like in a sense to where like he's not going to shoot up back to like the value he once had, right? But I do think his value can slightly go up if he performs.
There's a weird bias against Chase Brown, like for his size though, and like he's not materially like he's not smaller than like Kyron Williams. He's bigger than Bucky Irving, like, and he's like if you look at him like. He is so rocked up for his frame, and yeah, like he's got as much muscle mass on his frame as he's ever going to get. He cannot get bigger, but I mean, this is a dude who's in the gym hardcore, and it shows. And I mean, he balled out last year. He was a legit 3-down back, super efficient on the field for the high value 3rd down reps. Like, what else do you want? Is he ever going to be CMC? No. Are you going to hold that against him though? Like, who is going to be CMC?
Yeah. No, I'm just like...
that's the fork in the road, though. Like, do you want one more ride with CMC? That's fair. He could catch 90 balls. I mean, that's fucking league winning. I get it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, it's a hard question, though. Chase Brown looked very good for the Bengals, man. So we'll see. Next player up at ADP of 64, Kenneth Walker.
Ooh, God, that's hard. Shit.
So I'll go first since it's hard, man. I won't drink on this. And I think Christian McCaffrey is obviously league winning, but with Kenneth Walker being quite a bit, well, not quite a bit, but younger. And then I believe in Kubiak, man. I think that offense is going to do great. I hope they get a stronger offensive line or they build on it. But I think Kenneth Walker, if he can stay on the damn field, is going to do some great things next year, man.
I'm going to not drink here, which is killing me because I love Walker too. He is like maybe the closest thing we have now that he's basically, well, he's not dead, but he's on his last legs. He's like the closest, maybe the closest thing to a worthy successor to Nick Chubb that we have in the league is like just a pure fucking rocket ship as a runner who maybe he's not going to ever add much as a receiver. Although I think he caught like 40 balls last year.
He can. That's the crazy thing. He can.
But 3
it just
offensive
depends on how they use
coordinators in 3 years. Offensive line is still it's one of the 3 or 4 worst offensive lines in the league. And like John Schneider is like fucking Mickey Loomis. He's just Presidente for life there apparently, and like he can't get himself fired no matter what he does. So is he going to fix the offensive line? I mean, he hasn't. It's been a problem for several years, and he still hasn't fixed it. So, and like Charbonnet, Charbo had a strong year last year, so that could be a true 50-50 split. Now. But really, what it comes down to is the same thing as Chase Brown, which is it depends on where your team is at. Because if you can go win it and you just need that piece that that last jolt of value over replacement in your starting lineup just for 2025, then it's probably CMC. But Walker, like maybe he fights Charbonnet off and is the guy there by 2026, or maybe he leaves and goes somewhere where they're like, holy shit, Kenneth Walker is the shit. Let's give him this ball. Let's keep giving this guy the fucking rock. Like there's lots of paths for Walker over the next 5 years. That's the question is like, are you looking for a guy who his 5-year production or his 1-year production? That's it for me.
Definitely. I'm a Walker fan, man. That dude could take it to the house on any carry, man. But
he's one of those guys who like Goldilocks size, and also he can house it from anywhere on the field. He's got that kind of fucking rocket sled speed, and it's also kind of like with Chubb, because the Browns really like they didn't let Chubb have more than 200 rush attempts or like 225, but once in his first like 4 or 5 years they really throttled him quite a bit. And Walker kind of fighting through the same thing. So, yeah. Walker's a great player. He needs a little bit better circumstances.
100%. So this next player, ADP of 66, I love this guy, Derrick Henry. However,
Henry. Period.
Oh, you're going Henry.
Henry. Period.
No.
Not even close.
I'm going CMC here.
Not even close.
For real.
Henry.
All right, talk to me about that.
Not even.
Tell me.
CMC's body is already breaking down. Like, Henry's older. He's got more mileage. Fine, sure, whatever. Derrick Henry is conformationally a freak, even amongst a league of freaks. Even like
he is.
Of the top 1%, he is the top 0.01% of the top 1%. Like, he is such a freak. With his dimensions, his leg length, his pad level, like all this stuff. Like, I don't buy that you can automatically, necessarily impose the normal breakdown timeline that you can for other running backs on Derrick Henry. I fundamentally have rejected that because he's fundamentally physically such an outlier. Just the dimensions of him as a man, as a human man. So, the Ravens, he has no competition in that backfield whatsoever. Justice Hill, I think, is under contract for 2025, but he could be gone maybe. I don't know. And yeah, like What are you hoping for with CMC? You're hoping that he gives you slightly better. Best case scenario is he gives you slightly better than what Derrick Henry just did last year and is perfectly set up to do again. It's Henry. For me, it's Henry.
No, I love the argument you made, man. I love both players, but like we play half PPR, so half PPR with the fact that CMC is going to catch so many passes out of the backfield. It's hard, man. But I'm still a Christian McCaffrey guy. Like, I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be washed next year. I think he's going to come back strong, but I still think for me it's CMC on that, man. But how long do you think this guy's going to play till?
Which guy, Henry or CMC?
Henry.
To me, there's a real scenario where he gets away with this for 2 more years. To me, that's real. To me, that's a real possibility. I don't think CMC can. He could. I think it's less likely. So, that plus, you just said it, the ADP, it's really not even all that close. Wait, no, you said CMC is 56 and Henry's 66. Okay, so it's pretty close. But yeah, no, I'm still Henry. Like, sorry, he has proven it.
I like it, man. I like it. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of both.
Later, Chubb. Chubb's clocking out. Later,
take
buddy.
care, Chubb. I appreciate you for joining us, bro.
Yeah, we got a turnout tonight. This is nice.
We did. This last player, ADP of 75. We got Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard.
Well, I love Chuba, man.
Yeah, but he just got the it's Hubbard. He just got the contract. He's kind of like store brand Josh Jacobs, or that's how the Panthers have been using him, at least. Like, he just eats, touches, and churns out, above average efficiency with him, and he doesn't have to come off the field on third downs. Yeah, no, for me, it's like, again, is CMC's ceiling in 2025 higher? Objectively, that's true. But obviously, this thing is getting ready to fall apart. This could be his last hurrah as the clear-cut guy for any NFL offense. So yeah, I got to go Hubbard. But I see the argument both ways. I do, but for me, it's Hubbard.
I'm a huge Chuba Hubbard fan. I think my concern was how long will he have the starting role for, but he did get a contract. I don't want to say completely out. I hope he makes a recovery, but man, I don't know what to think about Brooks, man. I think I showed you a trade earlier. I don't want any part of Brooks in Dynasty at the moment.
Yeah. 2 ACLs
and I love what Chuba Hubbard could do, man. Yeah. It's not good. And the way he went down was sad, man. I hated seeing it, but yeah, I don't want any part of him on any of my Dynasty teams at the moment. So I like what Chuba Hubbard could do. I think he's legitimate. I think if that offense takes the next step up, which they should, knock on wood, I think he could do even more amazing things on that team. So we'll see. I'm with you on that. So the crazy thing is as we answer this question, can you imagine like let's say you have Christian McCaffrey and somebody offers you Chuba Hubbard. You're taking that trade straight up?
So I will say that saying it's definitely Hubbard over CMC is philosophically value hoarding. Your philosophy, your Dynasty philosophy there is like, oh, you're a slave to, Dynasty nerd calculators and stuff like that because Chuba Hubbard's little number next to his name is higher than the number for CMC. Whereas, guys who play to win can get guys like CMC sometimes at a discount, maybe bigger discount, smaller discount, but whatever, they can go roll the dice and go get a guy like that and potentially have like an easy mode hack for winning the league that year. So
definitely.
While yes, for me it's Hubbard from a team building standpoint. Moss in M1 last year, Henry and Saquon, he nobody even stood a chance. Like it was that simple. So CMC is an example of a guy that you can get in on for a reasonable price that can produce that kind of result. So I see the argument.
Definitely. Luckily for me, man, in redraft I ended up with a lot of Chuba Hubbard, man, and that helped me big time. It sucked that he got hurt during the championship.
Yeah, that killed me in a league. But
Me and you shared the M2 league together, and my whole team was fucking injured for the championship. That sucked, but Chuba Hubbard was definitely a huge part of getting me there, though. I will say that.
You did go down like a bitch in that game. That's true.
I went down like a bitch.
That's a good point 100%. You made about yourself there, Lou.
I can't even argue that, man. I went in there without CeeDee Lamb, Ken Walker, Dak Prescott, Chuba Hubbard.
It's okay.
Who else was missing from my team, man? It was a shit show.
I went down like a bitch the week before to you, I'm pretty sure, actually. So never mind.
Nice. Oh, you did, yeah.
We don't need to talk
You
about
did. You did.
Don't bring that up, Lou. Leave that. Let the past die, Lou. All right. What else?
So,
all right. So
for this, we're done with the Dynasty beer goggles, man. And I think that's gonna be a segment we're gonna keep bringing back. I think that was fun.
I liked it when you called it beer Googles in DM earlier, though. Can we call it that?
Oh, did I really?
Beer Googles. Beer Googles. Okay.
So for this next segment, I'm gonna need boards to leave the room. Just playing, boys.
Earmuffs.
Fuck it. I'm here to talk Dynasty. I don't give a shit.
Boards,
so
earmuffs it, buddy.
Next question is thoughts on Travis Etienne after a down year. So I would like to hear your thoughts, and then I'm gonna mention some trades that I saw, some real life trades. So, and just to kind of bring some content into it, so Travis Etienne did have a hamstring injury, I believe, on week 6. So what are your thoughts, man? Testing?
Oh shit! I muted my mic. Sorry, guys. I accidentally grazed the mute button on my microphone.
No, exactly. Like it went quiet. I'm like, oh shit.
Whoopsie.
So,
you know what? We start drinking, and drunk stuff happens. Shit. I don't know where I cut out. Anyway, Etienne's dynasty does Etienne super blow my skirt up as a player right now? No. But look at the forest for the trees. They bring in Liam Cohen, who's a little bit of an offense whisperer, and not only that, they give him the keys to the kingdom. They let him appoint his own GM. Have they even hired a GM? I don't think they have. Liam Cohen has.
Seriously?
Liam Cohen has complete control of the organization. It's fucking really weird. It's really weird what's going on in Jacksonville. But I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I think he's fine. Yeah, they did hire a GM finally. Eventually.
Speaking of, I'm going to interrupt you right now. What a buy low he was for a while, man. Like, and I think people are kind of catching on now. So I don't know if he's much of a buy low anymore. But like, if you're able to go get you Trevor Lawrence at a low cost, man, good for you. Like, you did that trade in was it F1? F1 that you did that trade?
I got T-Law for the 110. And
bro, like you fucking killed that trade. Like that was Anyways,
shout out Blunt. He's here. Shout out Ayukin for making my dreams come true. Etienne, like he's basically Kenneth Walker from a fantasy perspective. Like, do I think Kenneth Walker is maybe a better player? Yeah, but he's in an offense that could snap back, could way overcorrect from 2024. Is the offensive line still an absolute dumpster fire? Yes. Offensive lines can turn it around big time with a scheme change. They can. That's what the Texans did in 2023. The players still sucked, but the scheme helped them. So that could absolutely.
Hey, hold up.
No, it's true. Don't even. Juice Scruggs, get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Don't even play, girlfriend. So, and Cohen did that in 2024 for the Bucs too, or whatever. Canales did. The scheme can help put some glitter on the pimple of the offensive line. You want Etienne at this price. I'm trying to get all the Etienne I can because he's probably going to give borderline RB2 production, maybe even beat that. And he's dog. I mean, like, there are leagues where you can get Etienne for fucking Rashad Bateman right now. You know I love Rashad Bateman, but come on, fucking Rashad Bateman.
You do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
and boys, let me reiterate, like, what we're saying is complete bullshit. Don't listen to it. You should accept the trade I sent you in F3.
Bateman for Etienne is good value. You should take that as the Etienne owner for sure.
But so keep trade cut, right?
Oh yes.
It has Etienne valued around the 207, slightly less than the 207.
Wait.
And
say that again?
So keep trade cut has Etienne value slightly less than the 207 at the moment. And let me start off by saying, like, trade calculators are great. However, don't use that as your be all end all. But yeah, I would give up a 207 in a heartbeat for Travis Etienne.
And it's a great class for running backs, but Etienne is going into a contract year. Like, is he in the? No, he's going into his 5th year. Yeah, so he is fully in a contract year, like, for real. Yeah, Etienne for sure. Like, the Jags have mostly been dog water since Etienne's been there, and like his rookie year was a wash because he broke his foot. So yeah, Etienne for sure.
Definitely. So should we turn this into? I have 3 questions. Should we turn this into a drinking game, or should we just go with it?
Hold on, Blunt. Ayukin in chat said, "What do you guys think about Ramondre?" Lou, lay it on him.
I am out on Ramondre. I'd be trying to get rid of him.
I think Ramondre is that's
my personal opinion.
I think Ramondre is a soft
You think
buy.
so?
The Pats are probably going to draft at him. They're probably going to draft a running back. And they're going to let Antonio Gibson walk here next week. So that's probably going to happen. Mm-hmm. But anytime you're talking about a young enough running back that can stay on the field on 3rd downs in an offense that we think is on the upswing, I'm already interested. I'm certainly not going to spend much to go get Ramondre because 4.6 speed is 4.6 speed. He's never going to escape, like, Bears. Well, his best case scenario is being like David Montgomery on the Lions, and the Patriots are a long way from being anything like the Detroit Lions. So, but
I think
if you can catch somebody
what
that's
has me scared off with him
is chewing their arm off to get away from Ramondre, I'd take him.
Definitely. I think what has me scared away from him is this draft at the moment. Don't get me wrong; they have like other needs to fill, right? But I can see them bringing in some competition. I think Ramondre has talent. I think he could definitely be like a running back for an NFL team. I don't know if I see him as a solution at the position, though. Sure. Especially like after this draft class, I think they'll bring somebody in for sure.
Yeah, they probably add a running back. There's too many in this class for them not to add one. But Ramondre, I mean, they gave Ramondre, what was it, 436 last offseason, something, or 432, whatever it was irresponsible.
That's right.
And he's got it. I mean, he's got the contract. So there's a good chance that unless he just completely falls apart, or fine, 327, whatever it was, unless he completely falls apart, like, he could be a Pat again in 2026. And with any non-elite running back, if he has a realistic and clear path to being on the team the upcoming season and the season after that, that has value to me.
Definitely. I got out on him last season. Bronk's not in the chat right now, so I'm going to go ahead and mention it. I traded Ramondre for two seconds, and I'm actually perfectly happy with that.
That's fine. Yeah.
So just my take. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of running backs that are going to be on the board in this upcoming rookie draft at middle of the second that definitely blow the skirt up more than Ramondre for sure.
Definitely. So I don't know if I heard your answer. Should this be a drinking game or just kind of roll with it?
Hold on. I got to check the show notes. What's the thing?
So some real life trades for Travis Etienne.
Oh, okay. Right. I just cracked beer number 2.5. Yeah, fuck it.
I'm on cup 3 of whiskey, man. So fuck it. I'm ready. I'm feeling good.
You tell me if this is a drinking game, buddy. You're the one. We both got to work tomorrow, presumably.
I got sick days. No, I'm just
It's a drinking game, but we're taking a little baby bird sips now.
So should we drink if we're on the ETN side or the other side? I'm gonna let you call it.
One of us should have ETN and one of us should have the flip side. That's it.
All right, you call it. You call it. Which side do you want me to have?
I was pretty bullish on ETN just now, so I feel like I maybe should take ETN.
Oh fuck. Okay, let's go.
All right. You're the one drinking whiskey. If you want ETN, you can take him. It's okay. I won't be mad at you.
I might need to switch to beer here in a little bit. No,
okay. You have ETN. It's okay. I can defend anybody.
I'm good with this. You have the ETN side. I got the other side.
Getting in trouble with his wife tonight.
So
he's gonna come to bed
again,
like, she's gonna be like, what do you mean you can't do it? He's like, well, I was talking fantasy and it got out of hand.
So I'm gonna give another
you
shout
can't
out
talk to them anymore after 9.
Dynasty Data Lab. Just because this is where these trades came from, I just pulled out a few trades from their website.
Okay.
So the only thing with their website, I love it, but it doesn't say where the picks are. So for the sake of this discussion, let's just say that they're mid.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have ETN in a mid 2025 third, or Jalen Coker in a mid 2027 second.
Oh, that's. I mean, it comes down to obviously like any trade. It comes down to
team build
the players. I think the winner's ETN, buddy. I think you're drinking on that one.
I already took a sip.
Okay, good.
So I knew the answer to that one already. So I love Jalen Coker and the prospect of him. However, like we were talking about, man, I feel good about ETN next season. I think that he was coming off a hamstring injury. I think people are down on him at the moment, and I think he's a great buy low. Boards, again, what I'm saying right now is a bunch of lies, and if you want to hit accept on that trade, please feel free to do so. Clearly drunk. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
He's perpetuating some stereotypes about Hispanics that really are not very good, but this is his choice. All right. And no slight against Coker, but he's an undrafted free agent. He could fall out of the league next year, and it wouldn't be surprising.
And honestly, like getting 27 picks right now, I think that's a good move, man. It's I know it's quite a bit away, but good move, good fucking move.
It's like you should buy XRP while it's at 75 cents because by 2027 it could go to $1.
Yeah, get you those savings bonds while they're at a good price. Let them build up. All right, so I already took a drink from that one. This one, let's see how our discussion goes, but I think I know where I lie. Cooper Kupp or ETN straight up?
Oh, it's ETN.
Yeah, fuck. Yes, sir, it is.
I mean, I'll drink with you just because I'm drinking. I'm just drinking now. But I mean, come on. And I love Kupp.
And that's what I was about to say. I say that being a Cooper Kupp fan, I hope he finds a good landing spot. I don't think he's washed. I believe in the talent. I still think he can help a team. But I still think ETN might be the guy.
I think the Rams are going to release him and he's going to go to Houston. That's what I think is going to happen. So we'll see.
All right. So what you're saying is we're going to get Kupp and Ibuka. And then they're going to team up with Nico Collins.
I don't see. Well,
let's do it.
So
I'm down with
the Texans do need to draft offensive line, Lou. I know it's not sexy, Lou. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
You build from the inside out, Lou.
Stroud got hit way too much. You're right.
Come on, Lou. You're getting too drunk there, Lou.
I'm going to be drinking on this.
Talk to your little internet friends after 9 if you're just going to be too drunk to even do it, Lou. That's his wife in a few minutes.
I have high tolerance, Luke. I'm still hanging in, man.
Good. North Korea.
And I also pre-game before this, by the way. So I started drinking a little bit earlier. So I'm with it, bro.
Big man. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my sip. All right, because I already know the answer to this.
Oh yeah, you have to take your sip. Was that
ETN or a mid second?
I mean. What are we doing here? Is it like, is it my opinion or is it like, what is objectively good value to anybody in the know?
Let's say this. Let's say you had ETN last season. You're like, I am tired of this bitch ass running back, right?
As a lot of people
If somebody
did, for
offers
sure.
you if somebody offers you the 205, are you ready to get out at that price?
Ooh, I think that's a. I'm gonna say that's a push. I know. I just banged the drum good and hard for ETN. It is a really good class. If you need running back, this is the year to go into the rookie draft. Need a running back. You and I know that. So normally I would say no, it's ETN. But given the strength of the class, the depth of the class, I think it's a push. I think you can take a little breather on this one.
Oh, too late. I already drank, bro.
Me too. Fuck. We suck at this. We're bad at this.
I appreciate you having my back, though. Thank you for that.
Bros before DUIs. That's what I always say.
All right. I don't think Boards are gonna accept my trade after this, man. Fuck.
Probably not.
All right.
Boards is never going to accept the trade. Whatever the trade is, it doesn't matter what the trade is. He's not going to accept it. It's just, it's not you, it's him. Don't worry about it.
I agree with that.
Don't worry about it.
I agree with that.
Boards says,
You know what,
Luke
Boards?
knows me well. Luke knows me well.
You know what, Boards? I'm taking the trade off the table. I'm gonna cancel it.
That's it. Play hard to get, Lou. He loves that. He loves that. That'll work for sure. He's going to be standing outside your house with a boombox over his head. Fucking send the trade again. Please. I swear to God I'll take it.
When ETN gets you 6 points week 1, you're gonna wish you fucking took this trade. I'm gonna say it right now.
ETN has 6 rushing attempts and fucking Tank Bigsby's the only running back on the field after halftime. Fucking never trade with Lou again. Fuck Lou. He fucked my whole season. Fucking.
So we're at 10 o'clock. What is it? 10:05 right now. I'm good to keep going if you guys are. Where's
Lay it
everybody
on
at
me,
the
brother.
moment? All right.
What do you got?
I don't know if I should use Fantasy Pros for this or keep Trade Cut. What do you guys want?
Mix it. Go with your gut. What Keith just said CT. What does that mean?
He tried to run a. Oh, Central Time. Central Time is 10:05. Yeah. Texas time, baby.
Yeah. Like I said, we're drunk. We don't know what we're talking about no more. We don't know.
I don't know. Keith, you might need to start one up, man.
All right.
How about
this?
No, but hey,
you threw some shade on my trade in F1 earlier. Over under. How about this? Over under 0.5 starts in 2025 for the New York Jets for Tyrod Taylor. You taking the over or the under 0.5 starts?
Damn. Who are they? Are they drafting or are they signing somebody?
That's not the question, Lou. Oh, Blunt says under. Ouch, hater. Pure haterdom. I'm gonna say over. I think Tyrod is the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the next couple years potentially.
I didn't hate your trade, by the way. Let me start off by saying that. I think you moving up one spot. I mean, moving back one spot for Tyrod Taylor. I think that's an okay move, right? I think he could. I mean, if he starts one or two games, you're okay with that trade in the long run, right? Because his value is going to go up right there. But I just wish. Hold on. Are they drafting or signing somebody, man?
Oh, they're gonna draft somebody for sure. They'd be crazy not to. They have a new GM. They have a new head coach. They're drafting a quarterback unless, I mean, whatever. There was a microscopic amount of drum beating for Jordan Travis like this week.
So hypothetically, if they speak Jackson Dart, hypothetically speaking, if they draft Jackson Dart, which I actually like, could I see Tyrod Taylor starting a few games? Yes. Yes,
yeah.
I can.
I think Tyrod's going to start some games. Like he might not even start week 1, but like, come on, it's the Jets. And if Tyrod's not starting, it's because they decided, Dart really wowed us out of the gate, and he's going to go out there and sit in week 1 and fucking go 9 for 20 against the Bills, and they're going to be, okay, we were just kidding. Tyrod, you go in there. But yeah, no, I think Tyrod's going to see the field. So. And he could be the starter. Tyrod Taylor.
And then as soon as he sees the field, you're gonna sell his ass.
Tyrod
and then
Taylor
at that point, it's a great trade
for the Buffalo Bills several years ago, and then he just got shoved back to backup quarterback duty because of reasons. And I don't see why he can't be something like a late bloomer Geno Smith type. I don't see why not. He's got plenty of arm. He runs plenty. He's accurate. Like, he's not going to win a Super Bowl. Lots of guys aren't. So what? All right. Anyway, back to the matter at hand.
So before I go into my next question, so Luke, you in F1, you fucking have a QB monopoly.
Of course.
I know your answer on this, but does that actually devalue quarterbacks for the league or bring the value up? Because I'll be honest, I don't want to pay you to have a quarterback.
So that, there's multiple schools of thought on this, I feel like, because obviously supply and demand, no one argues that supply and demand is a thing. But supply and demand, like, what if all the money in the world was controlled by you and your 11 buddies? Then it's not so much supply and demand, it's like, how much do you hate your friends? And how much are you willing to suffer to increase their suffering? So yeah, in our league, I've had a chokehold in that league. I've had a chokehold on quarterback from the outset. I've made it a point to maintain a chokehold on quarterback now we're going into year 3. And I had to be very patient. I had to bide my time, but as you saw, I turned Geno Smith into a 2027 first-round pick. That is a slight overpay,
by the way.
That is a slight overpay for sure, potentially a large overpay depending on how that team does in 2026. So how much it affects the market value of quarterbacks very much depends on how your league mates feel about you as a person. So yeah, you got to be pretty charming to get away with it, and I wasn't charming enough to.
Man, look, you know what's fucked up. But based on what you just said, it doesn't say too much good things about you, huh? I'm just like.
I mean, nobody like Ben. Ben was like, I will never buy a quarterback from Luke because I think whatever hoarding is the worst. Okay. Good luck. As long as Tua Tagovailoa never gets hurt again ever, then you should be fine. Good luck.
I should be thanking you for the anti-Dalton.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to be the guy who gets a scumbag off the waiver wire that people will overpay to go deal with your ass rather than deal with the quarterback hoarder in the league because, whatever. At least I didn't have to deal with Luke and his quarterback hoard. So yeah, that's a good point. You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome. Brian Robbins for Andy Dalton, and he still acts like it was a good trade. What the hell? Despicable.
All right.
Despicable.
So the next segment, what I was planning on doing, and we can just make whatever conversation we want out of this. I didn't really have too much plans for it, but let's do keep trade cut over Fantasy Pros. But I was gonna go down the list of running backs, and you guys let me know how you feel about them at that position. Okay.
Okay.
So according to Keep Trade Cut, the RB1 for Dynasty is Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you want me to keep going?
Well, there's no effective case against him as the RB1, so.
I'll say this right now. If I was on the draft board and I was gonna definitely go running back, I would go Bijan over Gibbs. That's my case. I love them both.
Come on.
And Gibbs grew on me, right? I was kind of.
Lou.
I was on the fence on Gibbs. Like I always knew he was a good talent, and I think Borge could attest to this because I used to talk about Montgomery and things like that. But no, Gibbs definitely. Holy shit, he had an amazing season, right? That dude is talented, but I'd go Bijan over Gibbs right now.
Well, there's no accounting for taste, right? There's no effective argument against Gibbs as the RB1. Bijan is, I presume, is the RB2?
RB2.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As well he should be. Maybe, easily after 2025 he could be the RB1, but right now he's not, and he shouldn't be, in my opinion.
Okay, so you like Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan. Okay, I got you. I'm the flip side of that. So if I had Jahmyr Gibbs and somebody offered me Bijan right now, I would accept the trade.
That's fair.
RB3, Ashton. Oh my God, I've been drinking. Sorry, let's say Genty.
Ashton Menchie.
Thank you, sir.
Ashton Genty's RB3 is is rookie draft horniness run amok. That's all it is. We don't even know what team he's on yet, and he's the RB3 in Dynasty. Fuck that. That's ridiculous. No, shove.
So I kind of agree with him being RB3 at the moment. And
of course you do. You're going to draft him in multiple leagues. Of course you do.
Very biased opinion of this, but that dude was amazing, man. Put up amazing numbers in college.
Everyone's
I think he
big
can
on
do everything.
60-inch TV. My sister's dick looked big on 60-inch TV. My sister's dick looked big running against Utah State.
So quick question. If he's not the RB3 to you, who's RB3?
I don't. Probably not.
Do you want me?
Yeah. Who's next? Who's next on your little list?
Okay. Look, I'm gonna name the next 4 to give you kind of some guys to work with. Okay. You good with that?
Go for it.
All right. So we have Saquon Barkley at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Devon Achane at 5.
Achane's at 5.
And,
wow.
And Breece Hall at 6.
I think the Breece Hall disrespect is really weird, personally. JT's got to be like 7 or 8. Alex is like, "Where's JT? He can't be far behind."
I'll mention that in a little bit once we get past this part. So
for me, Breece Hall is still 3. I know that's juking consensus quite a bit, but like, come on, Braylon Allen is a good player, sure, and Isaiah Davis, whatever. The Jets in 2024 were bad. Breece Hall was hurt. It's that sometimes it's just that simple. Like, if you're still in on CMC, how can you not still be on Breece Hall?
So let me say this. My personal opinion, I love Saquon Barkley, but I'm gonna move Breece Hall above Saquon Barkley if we're talking about Dynasty, and above Achane. Maybe I have some haterade. I'm not like a big Achane person. I'm not that huge on him.
Well, you see, and you're also down on questioning Gibbs's spot at the top of the mountain. So
no, hey, but I have changed, man. Like Gibbs to me is number 2. I just say I would take Bijan above him. So for me so far it'd be Bijan, Gibbs, Genty, Breece. For me.
Broadly, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's the right 4 guys at least.
Mm-hmm.
Even Genty, I'm like, we'll see.
And maybe I need to be educated. I don't know why I'm not that big on Achane, but I'm giving y'all too much information, but fuck it. But like, he's somebody I don't typically look to draft.
That's fair.
Personally.
But the Dolphins fell off in 2024, and it's easy to, for recency bias to set in. The Dolphins are still a plus. In my book, they're still a plus offense to be invested in broadly. Look what they did for Jonnu Smith. They turned Jonnu Smith into a top 5 tight end last year. Obviously, I was super high on Jonnu Smith, but I mean, he caught 87 balls because Mike McDaniel said, "Fuck it, let's make Jonnu Smith a thing." So this is a kingmaker type of offense, and Achane has game-breaking ability. Like, is he Jahmyr Gibbs? No, but he's close. He is. I would say he's close. He's got like 23 touchdowns in 2 seasons. That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. So, and he led all running backs in receptions last year by a lot, I believe. So,
which I was surprised I think you showed me that. When did you show me that in the chat? But he was a PPR machine for sure.
I spray painted it on your Dodge Journey right on the windshield, and then I pushed my dick and balls up against the glass also.
Whoa.
But you weren't in the car, so, can't sue.
All right.
No basis for a criminal case.
Let's keep this going then. After Luke's dick and balls comment on the windshield, but
the clock and balls.
We have, according to KTC, Gibbs, Bijan, Genty, Barkley, Achane, Hall. After Hall, and I think Luke, you know my opinion on this. Even though I do like him as a player, I think it's a little too high. We have Irving,
God,
Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams.
What a meteoric fucking rise for Irving. I just can't get there yet. I know that's maybe a little backwards. The Buccaneers fucking love Bucky Irving. Irving is the guy. I heard that Sean Tucker they like more than Rachaad White potentially going forward. So Rachaad White.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Rachaad White might be on the outs in Tampa. He might. There's an outside chance he gets traded.
I should. Yeah, maybe so.
Shit cray.
We just named Irving, Taylor, Kyron. I actually think I'm Taylor, Kyron, Irving.
I agree. No, I'll flip flop Irving and Kyron there for myself. But
oh, really?
I will personally. I will. Yep. I'm a big Irving believer. I'm still a Kyron believer too. But I mean, look at the season that Irving just had. I mean, he broke records as a rookie. So, and again,
the only thing.
Bucky Irving could run for fucking mayor of Tampa right now. They love him that much.
The only thing is there is kind of like an age difference, right? So we're talking dynasty terms. Like Jonathan Taylor is 26, Bucky Irving is 22, Kyron Williams is 24. But I said this on our first episode, Luke. Like Jonathan Taylor to me as a running back is the full package. Like that dude could be RB1 next season, and I wouldn't bat an eye. So I just believe in the talent.
Sure.
I would take Jonathan Taylor over Etienne, but y'all already know how I feel about him.
That's fair.
I think, man, dynasty and redraft terms. Let me think. Jonathan Taylor or Breeze. So dynasty, I'm going Breeze. Redraft. Fuck. Redraft Taylor. Yeah, redraft Taylor. Mm-hmm.
That's a push to me because Brees brings so much in the passing game potentially.
He does, yeah.
And Taylor's not a liability, but it's just not going to be a thing unless Anthony Richardson has a fucking Freaky Friday type situation with a quarterback who can complete a 5-yard pass. So, but yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor, like the floor for him, as long as he's healthy, is really, to me, is high. If Kyron Williams, like something weird happened and Kyron Williams was like a Raider next year or something, I don't want any part of it. Like, to me, Kyron Williams, it's a little bit gimmicky. It's a little bit scheme dependent. It's not like you can just plug him into any offense and he's going to do the exact same thing. I don't buy that. Irving is kind of in between. Like, he's clearly, he's got the, make a miss in a phone booth type of skill set where, as long as the team is behind him and is going to put him in on the field in situations where he can, have the ball in his hands in space, that he should be fine. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor, like, it's just, he's really good. So he's really big and really fast. So that's good. Yeah.
This next section is kind of interesting because it's kind of hard to rank. On our first episode, Luke, I think we said that Amari Hampton went where, to the Chargers, right?
That sounds right. I mean, it's been popularly
based on what's his name, Dan Jeremiah's mock 2.0. So I haven't updated myself on that, but for argument's sake, let's just say Amari Hampton goes to the Chargers, and let's say Travion Henderson. Alex is going to yell at me right now. I'm sorry, Alex, goes to the Vikings. So the next few players, we have James Cook, Amari Hampton. So we're starting to get into the other rookies: Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, and Travion Henderson.
I think Jacobs should be above all of them, personally.
Say that one more time.
I think Josh Jacobs should be above all of those guys, personally. The Packers shelved the pass game in favor of just funneling the ball. If you think Saquon Henry should be the RB3 or RB4, then you've got to elevate Josh Jacobs over those guys because he became the offense down the stretch. Saquon Barkley got all the ink, but Josh Jacobs was a monster for the Packers last year. And
he was, man. He was a good fit on that team. Like, that dude, he might be ranked too low. And I know we're talking dynasty, so like age 27 has a factor, right? Um, I know you're the opposite, Luke, based on our last conversation, but I like Amari Hampton, man. And if he goes to the Chargers, like I love that spot for him.
I think there's a lot to like about Amari Hampton's tape. I'm not saying, that I'm out on Hampton. I just, there are some things that forest for the trees kind of concern me a little bit. I feel like you can't
but I will say this, like I think if he got drafted to the Chargers hypothetically, right? And
sure.
I've been drinking because I can't even think of the coach's name at the moment, but I think with that
Marty Schottenheimer. Norv Turner.
But I think with that coach's play style, like that's great for Amari Hampton, man. Make your one cut, gain yards, and fucking truck forward. You know what I'm saying? Like tire out the offense and let's go. Like I think that's a good fit.
Hampton didn't really do a lot of that at UNC is the thing. Like like I said, the Tar Heels are building like a real football program, and obviously now they're bringing in Bill Belichick to boot. But like so much of Hampton's tape, the offensive line has already completely wiped out any sort of rush pursuit, blown the defensive line completely off the ball. Like so many of his big plays, like a defender didn't have even a hope of getting a hand on him until he was already 5 yards downfield. Omarion Hampton's like first step, second step are potentially elite. They are electric. Like for his size, his acceleration is incredible, obviously. My problem is like, could he be great having to improvise when defenders are reaching him way sooner than they did at UNC? Yes, he could. Based on the tape, we have no idea because we haven't seen enough of him in those scenarios. That's my knock on Hampton. And plus, he's unnecessarily big. He's unnecessarily muscular for what, the kind of the emerging prototypical level of like physical mass is for that position. Like he's really rocked up, and I'm worried about like potentially some empty size hurting him, even though he's like, yeah, he's yoked up for sure, but it maybe is not going to necessarily do him much good as a running back. So,
you know what's crazy? I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, but I've heard some people say him at 102.
I don't agree at all. I don't agree. Actually, I was gonna. Thank you for reminding me because considering so wild pivot, and we can come back to Hampton before we wrap up here, but. Considering the combine just wrapped up, the word on the street is that Shedeur Sanders kind of fucking bombed his interviews, and that teams are moving him down the board or taking him off the board. Maybe he did that a little bit on purpose because he's trying to control, specifically where he goes. Sure, fine. Regardless, if he slips into like the middle of the first round or something crazy like that, plus like the word on the street is like, amongst player evaluators, scouts, and coaches and shit, it's Cam Ward and then everybody else at quarterback for this class. Like Cam Ward's the guy. He's the consensus top quarterback. So in Superflex Dynasty drafts, that combined with the fact that Ted McMillan, yeah, he was pretty prolific at Arizona State, but like he's not a burner. He's more of like a possession type guy. Is Cam Ward not the kind of like the clear-cut one, number 2 pick in this rookie draft at this point? I'm kind of wondering, like, why isn't he? Because certainly no quarterback will be more invested in than Ward in this draft. So
I'll be honest with you, and Luke, I already mentioned this to you. I had Sanders above Ward originally. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to have second guesses. So the reason I had Sanders above Ward is because I think he could run an NFL offense right now. I think he can complete the passes needed. I think he can read a defense. Although
I don't know.
I think Ward has more upside. I think Ward does have more upside if he hits right.
Lou getting after it. Proof of me drinking. Sorry, you were saying? I'm getting pretty drunk too, so don't worry. You're in good company.
But so I don't know what I'm gonna feel like when our dynasty drafts roll around. like I said, I was keeping Sanders ahead of Ward. But by the time the draft happens and we get more information, I wouldn't be surprised if I flopped. But today, Sanders for me.
Fair. Ward, there's a good chance Ward is going to get paired with like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or something like that, and have to wait in the wings until like week 5 or whatever. But yeah, I mean like Alex just said in the chat, like Ward is clearly going to be the first quarterback off the board based on what we know right now. And even like 2 weeks ago, it wasn't super clear. Like we were leaning Ward, but we wouldn't have been super surprised if Shedeur Sanders started to pull away. Now Ward has pulled away. So previously we were undecided on like Ward versus Sanders in terms of like, which guy is the NFL going to say is the guy. Now the NFL's signaling to us pretty clearly Cam Ward is going to be viewed as the top quarterback. Now that we have that like clear separation, should he not be so obviously Genty's the number 1 pick in 99% of rookie drafts. Going into the combine, Ted McMillan was kind of running as the consensus number 2. I don't see why it shouldn't be Ward in like most serious leagues where a quarterback comes at such a brutal premium.
So it's kind of a weird thing for
Ted McMillan is not Malik Neighbors. He's not Brian Thomas Jr. He's just not. Which no knock on him, but he's not those guys. He's never going to be those guys.
It's kind of a weird thing too, in the sense to where like because Ted McMillan didn't do anything at the combine per se, like I guess people kind of for the longest time he was the 102, and now it's being questioned. So it's like if he would have done something at the combine, would he still be the 102?
Sure.
Or we'd still move him down. So that's kind of like the weird thing with him, right?
That is a good point. Is like it's the immediate aftermath of the combine. He didn't test, so we kind of naturally get a little bit of a bias against those guys insofar as we get more hyped up for like Luther Burden or Igbuka or other guys who tested at the combine. So that's a good point too. But quarterback kind of makes the world go round in Superflex. So
let's throw some hypothetical into this. Let's say Ward goes to the Giants and Sanders goes to the Raiders.
I mean, I got to turn that on its ear. I don't think there's a landing spot, a realistic landing spot, scenario that makes Sanders the guy over Ward for me at this point.
Really?
I don't think it exists.
Okay.
Like
I have like this weird where I can see him just having like Bowers and Jacoby Myers and whoever else they add and just being able to run that offense. I don't know, man. I mean, we still need more information, right? But
let me clarify. I'm not a huge Ward guy. I'm not. I'm open to getting more hyped up for him, but especially given the fact like look at the places he can land. He can go to Tennessee, he can go to Cleveland, he can go to the Giants, maybe the Jets. Like the Raiders are the best. Are maybe the Raiders and the Browns are maybe the best landing spots for either of these guys. That's a horrifying statement just in and of itself. So, it's not like last year where McCarthy gets to land nice and cush with the Vikes and Daniels gets to go to the Commanders right as they get their act together. We don't have any of that. Except for maybe the Raiders, maybe. And that is really hard to fathom still. But maybe the Raiders are getting their act together like the Commanders did last year. It's possible.
Definitely.
Anyway.
So going back to
him.
the rankings, we mentioned James Cook, Amarian Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, and Trevion Henderson. So you mentioned you had Josh Jacobs at the front.
Although,
how do you feel about the rest of the crew?
That's probably wrong. Like James Cook, I'm a little biased against James Cook because he's already agitating pretty hard about his contract. That makes me a little bit nervous.
Are you saying he's not worth the $15 million? Just fucking with you.
No, I'm not saying that. But it doesn't matter if I think he's worth it. It matters if the Bills think the Bills are going to be willing to pay it. And so, I mean, on the one hand, he's going into his contract year, but on the other, like, are the Bills really going to pay him? I don't know. So James Cook probably deserves to be ahead of Josh Jacobs. Sure. He was very good last year. Kenneth Walker
take this into redraft. I know we're talking dynasty, but take this into redraft. I would definitely draft Josh Jacobs in front of Cook.
That's fair.
Redraft.
I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah, like Cook's whatever it was, 15 or 16 touchdowns. I wouldn't super bet on him running that back with Josh Allen.
There should be a regression, yeah.
So yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I go Jacobs over Cook. Sure, why not?
What about let's say Amari Hampton, Walker, and Henderson? How do you feel about those three?
I don't really love anybody in the group. I love Walker as a player, but he's in a messy situation. I'm gonna say Walker. I'm gonna go against the grain and say Walker. He's young. He's still 23, and he can get into his second contract pretty soon. Whereas the other guys, we don't even know where they're gonna land, and how they're gonna, Hampton, we have to assume, is going to, have 200 plus touches in 2025. But
yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you. So you and I, we've sent some direct messages to each other here and there, and I've kind of shared like my opinions on some things, right? I think I kind of flip-flopped. So I think I would literally go Walker, Hampton, Henderson.
That's fair.
Walker with the hopes that Kubiak turns that offense around and gets the running game going. Hampton, because I think he's going to be the clear like 3-down back and like handle a workload and maybe even supplants Walker. We'll see.
Sure.
I love Trevion Henderson, or I guess I heard he goes by Trey actually, but Trevion Henderson, I love what he can do. But let's say he goes to the Vikings or whatever the landing spot is. I don't think he's ever going to be a workhorse, like according to what other people are saying. So I would take my chance on the other two, which I'll be honest, like Hampton and Henderson, I'm flip-flopping. Like I've told you this before, like I think I had Henderson at my 2, Hampton at 3 for the rookie class. But I think I'm flopping on that and going Hampton 2, Henderson 3.
You're biased against the smaller backs, Lou. You're biased.
Yeah, although man, Henderson could just take something to the house, man. He can catch, but I just don't think he'll ever be like the workhorse.
Yeah, he could get typecast as like an Eckler level of pseudo scat back. I mean, yeah, whatever. You could talk yourself into any order for those three guys. They're very close.
Mm-hmm.
Especially while we're waiting for two of them to even have a landing spot. So whatever, they belong with each other in some order. That's fine.
Gotcha.
So Walker.
Say that again.
But for me, it's Walker. Where is Sincere McCormick? I'm surprised we haven't gotten to him yet in the top 12. Considering that I have him in every league.
Luke, just cut him.
No,
cut him. It's done.
You'll see. You'll all see. Sincere McCormick has not yet begun to fight.
I'm gonna get this off track a little bit, Luke. I have quite a
good
decent amount of tight ends in F1. I'm surprised you haven't offered me shit. Like, where's your offer for Taysom Hill? Who else to have an F1, bro? Anyways, I expect some kind of offer for Taysom Hill, bro. In the next few days.
You keep on expecting, buddy. You keep until the Bronx give him 4 years and $50 million. With half of it guaranteed. I'm all set. With Tyler Conklin as my tight end 5, I'm all set. So,
I'm in quite a bit of leagues, Luke. So F2, I have some Conklin action if you want to throw something my way. Just saying.
I'll think about it.
I know you like tight ends, bro. I know.
Yeah, it's true. I like tight ends, and I cannot lie. All right, well, we're way over on time, so we're going to wrap this up because I didn't tell you this, Lou, but I'm going to take this and cut it and post it on Spotify as episode 1 of our new fantasy football podcast. So I got to go do that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, sir. Appreciate you doing that, man.
Absolutely. Drinkin Dynasty, thank you for listening. If you somehow sat through, God, what was this? 2 hours of us just
basically 2 hours
drinking and shooting the shit all to pieces. But, yeah, we'll be back with you next time talking about probably some obscure fuckers ADP and whether we're in or out at ADP 192 on Brenton Strange or some shit. So, yeah, should be hot.
I appreciate y'all tuning in and have a good night, man.
I got to go hydrate immediately. Later.